Officer's Log 05. Stardate 15-01-2081. Things are looking up. The refit of the Miner Heavy proved very successful. I now have the ability to mine resources without also worrying about power. The upgrades to the refineries proved very useful indeed, but that being said, the throughput is now abysmally slow. I need to construct a dedicated refining facility with additional refineries to dramatically increase my ingot output. I think I know just the spot. It is also important to get some turrets online, as now that the facility is starting to sprawl out, it is increasingly likely to be hit by a stray meteor.
Okay guys, we've got a few things to focus on today. What we need to do is we need to dismantle this drill, because it's surplus to requirement. We also need to expand the base a bit. So we've got... what I want to do over the next couple of episodes is make a medical bay. I want to turn this main building into more of a control center rather than just a hodgepodge of various machines. I want to build a dedicated refinery building, which I might put in this pit here. I want to do a dedicated assembly building to put our assemblers in. I want to add some turrets for asteroid defense. In fact, I might try and do that sooner rather than later. Purely because we almost got hit last time. Like, they came dangerously close to hitting the solar panel array and the mining ship. So I want some turret defenses. And we also want to build some landing pads, which could just go on this ridge line here, instead of docking on this gantry out here, because I could put more solar panels on this if we need more power. So those are the ideas. I think that's how we're going to expand it, and I think it might be worth chunking it down to probably doing the turrets and the refinery and the assembly building today, and leave the med room and control center and the landing pads for another time. Because one of the things we're bottlenecked at the moment is our production. Let's see if we can... Nope, that didn't quite work. Yeah, so currently we have... Can I get in here? There we go. Currently we've got 2 assemblers without any modules on them, because putting modules on them kind of ruins the walkability in here. We have 1 main refinery, and we've got 2 basic refineries. And currently they are all just maxed out doing their thing. The assemblers I queued up a whole bunch of resources, so they're going to be busy for a while. The refineries are slowly refining the gold and the silver that we picked up last time, but they can't be processed by the basic refineries. So the basic refineries are doing nothing, and the main refinery is doing all the work. But it's got a lot to process, and it's going to take a while. So we need to kind of get a few more of those up and running to run in parallel. We need to move or expand the O2 production so we can stockpile a whole bunch of hydrogen. And I want to make more battery rooms. Oh, are these going down? Are we using more than 10 megawatts? I wouldn't have thought so. The refinery is using 1.1 megawatts. What about the assemblers? They're using 1. Yeah, so we should have a power surplus. So I don't know why... maybe it's recharging the batteries on the miner. Maybe that's what's going on. We should have a power surplus rather than a power deficit. Anyway, so yeah, that's the plan. We're going to make a few new rooms, expand the base a bit, and build some defenses. Oh, the other thing I want to do today, if we can, is try and locate some uranium and platinum. Because that's going to be very important for us going forwards. Now, the eagle-eyed among you may have noticed I've upgraded my tools. Because we've got the silver and we had the cobalt, I was just dragging my feet on that. So I did that end of last session just after I stopped recording. But we now have better tools, which means we should be able to do all this building a lot quicker. Right, let's go dismantle that drill. Damn, this radiation is... Maybe I need a welding ship. Maybe I need a welding and grinding ship for working outside. Because this radiation sure climbs very quickly. Okay, so I've got a plan on how I want to build... or carve out the room for the walkway. I just don't know how effective it's going to be, so we'll see. This could get interesting. Let's turn that piston on to slowly extend. Turn the drill on. It's not damaging this. So that will slowly carve that out. I might need to use the terrain clearing, but we'll see. Okay, so that's a little bit of space dug out, but I need to kind of go a bit lower. So I'll see what I can do with that. There we go. So now we can rebuild the drill here and continue carving out on this level. There we go, and this should cut through this wall here. And we can use this as our entrance to the refining building. Okay, so I've taken away the piston. I have reinstated the conveyor line. This is going to be where our walkway extends through, and it will join the refinery room here. I'm thinking of putting the refineries down in this pit and having like a glass floor so you can look down and see them, but I'll sit on that idea and see where it takes us. I think we are. We have a massive lack of iron. That's not good. Okay, so we're running up against iron at the moment. We don't have enough of it. So I might have to quickly pop off and do a quick iron run. Alright, let's just have a look at what asteroids we've been to. That one, iron and silver. Cobalt and gold over that way. Silicon and nickel over that way. Magnesium and silicon. Nickel and ice. Magnesium, nickel, nickel. So we've got quite a few asteroids around us. Let's go to some of the ones we haven't been to yet. We might have to just go pop off in a random direction. Like we haven't been to that one or some of these further away ones. So let's do a quick reconnaissance mission. And hopefully on the way we can pick up some iron and hopefully find some platinum and uranium. There's another rock there. It's really difficult when the rocks are between you and the sun. It's really difficult to identify where the asteroids are. What have we got here? Platinum! Platinum! We need that. Okay, so we've managed to find some platinum. I don't know what its chemical symbol is. I imagine it's PL. That's good. Is it just platinum here? I'm hoping not. I'm hoping it's platinum and something else. It has taken us a while to find the platinum. You can see my HUD littered with GPS signals all over the place. However, it is only... It's about 30 kilometers away from the base, which isn't too far, considering once I've set a course here, I can just turn off my turn off my reverse thrust and just coast to this location. So we found the platinum. That's good. Ideally, I want some uranium as well, so we can make some reactors, and that will pretty much just power us indefinitely. That being said, I will take some platinum, because that's useful for ion thrusters and the next tier of tools. So what I'll do is I'll quickly mine some of this, mine some iron, mine some ice, and probably return to base. No, I think that'll be enough platinum. Now, let's grab the iron from here. And we can circle around and get some ice. I want a full load of ice. That makes most sense. We found one of the two resources we were looking for. So I can consider that a win. My god, this thing is so slow to accelerate once it's full. Which means it's going to be also equally as slow to decelerate, so I've got to be careful with that. Oh, I need to be at the top of that. Okay. We're all docked, all delivered. Everything's going well. Okay, we'll let that process all that. Let's go get some ice. The ore has been delivered to the base. The platinum is refining. The iron is refining. So while that's all doing its thing, let's go grab some ice so that we've got a new stock to replenish all the fuel we've just used. And then hopefully, by the time we come back, we'll have the resources to start building more of the base. Right, time to RTB. Jeez, this thing is heavy. It was not designed to be this heavy. Same in the general vicinity, and hopefully we don't run into anything. Oh, that was almost perfect. That was so almost perfect. Okay, so we've managed to fill in the pit. This is where the refinery will go, and I think I'll just stack them up on top of each other. Have a nice long chain of refineries. Let's hope nothing gets hit by the meteors, because that will be very disappointing. Okay, I think we're going to get missed. Oh. Okay, yeah, no, just about. Maybe we need to get some turrets up and running then. Because these are... They're missing, but it wouldn't take a lot for it to not miss. Yeah, they're missing, but not by much. Okay. Oh, radiation. Radiation. Let's hide from the sun. I think we'll get the refinery building built, and then we'll think about turrets. Okay, so this is how we're going to do the refineries for the moment. We've got a pit, which has 2 of the industrial refineries in, which just so happens to line up with the main walkway. We'll put some catwalks along this level here, but you can still access the lower level. And we can put the modules on the back, no problem. And I might, as part of the walkways on this side, or maybe even on this side, do an additional level. So build it sort of 4 high, 2 high. Do it 2 by 2. So another level of refineries and just have a bunch of catwalks on the inside. And then that will sort of fill out the hole that we dug with the secondary drill. Okay, so quick update on the refinery building. We've got a framework going. I don't know if I like the flatness on the inside, but I don't know what I can do about it. So the internals will need some work. But as a framework, it's not too bad. There'll be a lot of catwalks going on and stairs and stuff, so it'll be very industrial feeling. I'm hoping that level of verticality will help break the shape up a little bit. But other than that, I don't really know how I improve on the flat wall. It's got 2 of them. This, just looking down here, it is very square. We'll see what we can do. We'll see how it turns out. Right, we're just welding up these pipes, which will be hard to get to once they're sealed in. And that should be this section conveyed, mostly. There we go. So all the refinery is welded up. Okay, so a quick update. We've got the corridor running to the new refinery building built, as well as all the pipelines. We have the refineries in place, each one having 1 speed module in 3 yields. So we've got 4 of these in place. The internals are, I mean, they're getting there. It's not brilliant, but it's also not terrible. We've got a bit of window in place, or windows in place, so it's got a bit of shape and structure. The inside walls are very flat, but we can probably do something about that as we build up the catwalks. So it's all very almost pressurized. We just need to put a roof on. But I don't really want to pressurize it just yet until I know where I'm going with these catwalks. So obviously we've got an entrance down at the bottom here, which is an airlock. And we also have an airlock at the top here, which will lead us back to the surface. Although thinking about it, might have been better to put it on the rear wall. Nah, we'll leave it like it is. So we've got the airlocks in place. We have a bit of shape and structure going on. I might replicate... Oh, it's... I mean, I could replicate that style. I think I will. I think I'll replicate that on this side, these bits, and maybe do something on the back here just to give it a bit more shape. And on the inside, it'll be all very industrial catwalks, railings, bits and pieces, so it can be all very walkable. So now, what we just need to do is make sure we get a walkway up to the top there. A walkway down to the bottom there, and I might do a corridor along the bottom edge there. I can put that in place using the corridor blocks. Right, just another quick update because I've been busy building and not recording. So I've done a lot of the greebling. All the refineries are in place. We've got all these catwalks in place to make it walkable. We've got lighting. We've got some greebling in forms of pipe work just to make it look less cubic. And I'm now ready to put the roof on. So we'll put the roof on this, and then our refinery building will be complete. We're out of steel plates. That's not good. Okay, so we have built our refinery building. We've got 4 industrial refineries working. We have 3 yield modules and 1 speed module on each of them, so they should all process to maximum yield. It's fully pressurized. It's got airlocks to it. It is a little bit boring on the interior, but well, that's as good as I could do for the time I was willing to put into it. One thing I want to do to all the buildings moving forwards is put these refill stations at each of the airlocks, just to make it easier to quickly refill my energy and hydrogen. But I'm quite happy with what we've got. It's fully walkable. Once I've got a gravity generator on here, everything will be nice and properly walkable. We've got a couple of screens here which are showing sort of the power consumption, power production. Just making sure that we're not using more than we are producing. And also just to see what the progress on the refineries are. So everything is working well there. So far we've achieved some of our goals. We've managed to find some platinum and we've built our refinery building. Now, we've been lucky with regards to the Meteors, but I don't know how long our luck will last. So I'm going to add some turrets and then probably call it a day there for this episode. It's been quite a long one, at least from my perspective. But we've achieved a lot. The fact that we've got the refineries going means we no longer have as much of a bottleneck. We've pretty much increased our refining throughput by 5 times. So I think next time we'll need to build an assembly building and then think about medical bay and a control centre. But so far, we're making a lot of progress. Let's get these turrets hooked up and then we can think about wrapping up. Okay, turrets are in place in strategic locations. But I don't have any ammo for them, so I need to quickly go mine some magnesium. I've got a few turrets on the solar array as well, because that's the thing most at risk of meteors, as it's always facing the sun. And it's a massive surface area to get hit. So all those turrets should, in theory, cover most of the bay. Oh, I should probably put one on here. Let's put one on this pipeline. There we go. So everything should be covered. Unless the asteroids are coming from below us. But if that's the case, well, I suppose I could probably put a turret on here as well to cover this angle. Let's just quickly do that. There we go. Plenty of turrets, plenty of coverage from Meteors now. They should not threaten us in our base. However, I don't have any magnesium for ammo, so I'm just going to quickly take the miner out for a spin, and then we'll be ready. Right, let's see if we can find some magnesium. Magnesium mined. Okay, so we've reconfigured some of the lights on the mining craft, just because it makes it much easier to see. We've got our magnesium, so the turrets have ammo. We have our refinery building, and I think it's probably worth wrapping up there. We've done a lot, and we've got a lot to show for it. So thank you for watching. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Officer's Log 05. Addendum. Stardate 19-01-2081. Just a quick update this time. The refinery building is in place and producing, dramatically increasing the outpost's processing capabilities. Turrets are also online and functional. The main update, however, is that I have discovered a source of platinum during one of the resource gathering missions. This is an incredible development, and opens the door to improved tools and, more importantly, ion thruster technology. This is Fiery Shadows of the UPML, signing off.